think anyone ever underestimates Own. She can come out and shoot hot fire every day, but I don't think anyone saw a 13 down coming.
Oh no, she can win now. She won D-Glow last year and just has so much momentum going into the final round. She's only a few strokes ahead of Kat Mertsch.
Kat still played a super solid round for 2 days in a row, and that really is reminiscent of her JomezPro win.
She's just out there kind of playing her own game, kind of in her own little world in a great way. I think she's able to focus and use the crowd's energy, but also just she has a lot of energy from within.
I think this course really caters to Missy's game. She's one that doesn't necessarily have as much distance, but we see players like Own and like Missy staying in the mix because it does cater to more accuracy than distance. Yeah, Henna's always been one of the best disc throwers in the FPO field.
I played with her round one and she was able to make a lot more of those putts, but she just looked nervous on the green today.
She's putting the disc where it needs to be. She just has to capitalize on the putting green. There is a lot to be said for momentum as well. If you leave this event feeling good about your game, especially on this OB-laden golf course mixed with some really tight wooded holes, you're going to feel really good going into the first major of the year. Hello and welcome to the final round of the Open at Austin. We grillin' out here. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese. Honk.
Honk.
I feel like I want to keep that kind of disco-y vibe going.
I know. Jamiroquai vibes.
That was a really fun opening to it's going to be an interesting day. I really have no idea.
I feel like it really catches how everyone's feeling right now because everyone's loving this course. Obviously, Own, we see nothing but huge smiles, but maybe it's because she's playing amazing. 91% fairway hits, 84% circle 2 in regulation, 100% circle 1X putting. She just laid down a, what was it?
13.
A 13 down?
13 down.
Like 1040 or something?
1055. Kat Mertsch, fairway hits 91%. Landing in circle 2 in regulation 73% of the time, scrambling 67% of the time. Back-to-back 7 downs for Kat, a couple strokes back of Own.
And that would have won the tournament by $1 million last year.
No kidding.
2 years ago. Missy Gannon, 91% fairway hits, always keeping it in the middle, and 73% circle 2 in regulation, and 78% of her circle 1X putts going in.
And Henna Blomroos, shooting well enough to stay on the lead card after a little bit of trouble in the front. 86% fairway hits, 73% in circle 2, 50% scramble. Just needs to make some of those putts today. I think she ended up 2 down to stay on lead card yesterday.
Yeah, she battled. Let's start with hole 1, 320 feet. Look how sunny and lovely it looks. We've had a pretty gray weekend, though. Thankfully, not as much rain as was forecasted. This one is pretty straightforward. There's out of bounds all the way by those advertisement walls, but you don't really have to worry about it. Just get it close to this elevated basket, put it in for a 2.
Yeah, or you could just fluff it every day and be really embarrassed.
Par's good, right?
Doesn't feel great on this one.
Let's look at Kristen Tatar. She's spinning the final round on the chase card. How often do we see that lately?
Almost never.
She does the exact same backboard tree that we saw in either round 1 or 2. I can't remember.
The precision is insane. 80 lane on clash discs. Super far thrower. I feel like people don't quite know her yet, but they are going to. Parks it.
Just some casuals out on the course. It doesn't affect Kristen. Dead center putt for birdie.
To the final day for the Open at Austin, sponsored by Flight Factory Disc. This is your FPO lead card. First up on the tee, she's your 3-time Masters World Champion, sponsored by Innova. Oh, Scoggins!
Own leading Kat by 2. That unbelievable 13 down. Conditions were a bit windier, especially as we go. We'll hit a weather delay later that we'll talk about. Own really turns this thing over. Should be an easy par. She's in bounds. Who knows? Maybe she'll dunk it.
Next up on the tee box, she was your Rookie of the Year in 2020. She's sponsored by Innova and Squatch. Cat Mertsch.
Shimmying and shakaing her way onto hole one's tee pad like no one else in the game would.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Puts a lot of air under this one on a hyzer. Oh, it bites. Nice. Just outside the circle.
Next up on your tee box is the team captain for Discraft. Also sponsored by Grip Equipment, Missy, Gannon.
Missy had a really solid day yesterday, but again, just Own totally overshadowing everyone. Cat able to stay close. Missy 8 strokes back of Own. It would take a great round from Missy and a not so good one from Own and Cat to have them be close together.
It's crazy. Missy's even almost averaging right around 1,000 rated, and that used to just would have been enough.
Not
And
more.
rounding out your lead card, sponsored by Innova Disc, Henna, Blomroos.
Yeah, I think I meant to look it up, but I think 1,000 rated is what you have to do to basically podium these days.
Thousand rated used to guarantee a podium. Now it's just,
just
an
have to.
obligation. Henna, like I said in the intro, one of the best disc throwers in the game, immediately hitting bullseye on hole 1. Uh-oh.
Interesting mistake from Own. She's so automatic from that distance. Anyone else, I'd be like, ooh, I'd be a little nervous, but
She kind of fumbled hole 1 on day 1 as well. So maybe a little hole 1 nerves.
I think it just looked like she didn't take her time. Like she knew it was a par.
All right.
Still 100% circle 1X. Just making it interesting for the people.
Yeah. Just showboating.
Missy for birdie. Low. Henna with a slight headwind. This was the distance that was giving her trouble yesterday.
Having an elevated basket on the first hole is some sort of cruel. It is. You're just, the hole 1 is the hardest putt to make, in my opinion, or maybe, hole 18 for the win. And it's just an elevated one on top of it. Let's catch up with Kristen from the chase card on hole 2. She's on her second shot of this par 5, clearing the green and landing in the safe zone. She's still got about, 125 to the basket?
Yeah, same play we've seen every day. Not really giving herself the eagle putt, but guaranteeing a birdie. 2 for 2 start. Kristen on the third now. Going flex sidearm.
Wow. So good.
It's almost not even a flex. They're so tight.
Yeah.
The angles. It's like the exact opposite of Owen's game.
It doesn't really look like she has to throw it so hard either.
All right, so Kristen Tatar chasing.
3 through 3.
No one on the lead card able to get that one. Definitely a bit of a surprise. Kristen Tatar, Allie Smith, and Katrina Allen all starting off 3 down. Rebecca Cox 4 down so far.
Wow.
Hole 2, over the ravine to start. It was kind of a right to left wind, so if you're throwing something straight, you need to be careful that you don't hyzer and skip OB left. The line is off that advertisement wall. You want to get to the corner, and then we have seen eagles. I saw Henna do a birdie save in round 1 after going OB. I think we'll probably see the attempt to get across into if any of the tee shots are in the ideal landing zone. There is OB around the pin that gets pretty close, and obviously that OB green as well. What did we say yesterday? Chasing the eagle?
Yeah.
Let's see if any of these ladies are chasing.
Owen putting it out nice and wide, giving it room to get some skips and not have to flirt too much with that corner out of bounds.
That was a great shot. I feel like the backhand, if you want to get really aggressive, you have to throw a turnover, and then that right side OB comes into play.
We saw a Kat do this hyzer play yesterday as well.
Oh, no.
She's going to have to take that a little further back on the corner. She will be blind, and I don't think she'll be able to recover birdie.
No. Yeah, she's going to be... Did she even cross the... She did. Yeah, she did.
Missy, real low. Not quite enough air under the disc to get herself into eagle position, but she can still birdie it.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. We can see there's, some rain here. And then just trying to battle that right to left wind is kind of tough to get into the perfect spot. Henna comes up a little short of the corner. I believe there's a drop zone. Is that what she's talking about? Yeah. So Kat just going to be playing for par here. Wants to get past this little skinny area and close to that green up there. That looks great. Wow. She loves it.
She sure does.
Whew.
Gorilla swinging.
Okay.
She's someone that I feel like probably watched Austin Powers a lot growing up.
Missy throwing a sidearm and gets stuck in the deepest tree well.
Henna still a little pinch, can't go for the eagle today. Just playing smart here, chipping one out. She'll have a wide open third shot for birdie.
It is always interesting because I guarantee she did not practice that drop zone. Probably no one did.
I didn't know it existed.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder how many people go play that spike hyzer play too.
I think not many.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they do, it's tighter and shorter.
Yep.
Hers was huge. Like, it was an aggressive spike hyzer kind of.
Yep.
Owen's second, going forehand over the green. Barely over the green.
The amount of times that physics can't explain the way that her disc finishes is above average. Wow, Missy.
Look at this. She gets a little run up in there.
Sit down. Yeah, that's great.
It's pretty good for a little tiny run up.
Mm-hmm.
Henna's third. There's a couple of gaps here. Most ladies going the right side with a small hyzer. S-M-O-L, small.
Very small.
That's perfect.
Kat gonna try to chip up to the green. Yeah, this is quickly spiraling.
For an eagleable hole, but I mean, par doesn't even feel very good on this one. Kat is finding a lot of trouble.
Oh, not going for it. Respect that play here. This is one you don't want to mess around with. She also has some nice wiggle room.
I'm just imagining Owen wiggling. I just feel like she does. She wiggles out there.
Kat going for it. Oh, I loved the line.
Dang, that was for bogey. She doesn't look in poor spirits, though.
Yeah, I think she's really working on the mental game. Sometimes she struggles with getting really heated, getting very passionate about it because she wants it. She wants it more than almost anyone out here. And so I think it's cool to see her rallying and not letting this bother her and go straight into the next shot.
Yeah, good putt.
Even if it is only not subconscious right now, you know?
Right.
Sometimes you tell yourself, yeah, I'm doing that. And then your body's like, are we?
Missy for a par.
Dealing with that Texas mud.
Yeah, not as bad today. Like, it didn't stick to your shoes as much. It wasn't as much of a problem as yesterday, even though it was actually kind of wetter. Interesting.
Half the field got this birdie, 25 out of 50, I believe, one competitors. No eagles today.
Did we have any yesterday?
I think we double check.
Can't remember. I know we did on day one.
Nope, none yesterday either.
Henna and Owen going to take the birdie there. Owen extending the lead significantly with that mistake from Kat Mertsch.
Here's Kristen on hole 5, the last of the open holes.
Kind of a tail left to right wind here. Going to push that sidearm a bit towards the edge of the circle, but that's a great shot.
So solid at
So
straddle
good.
putting.
Yeah. 4 through 5 and headed into the woods. I think I would guess that most people's numbers probably you're thinking you want 3 going into the woods. It's like a good buffer.
Yeah, that's going to put Kristen with the current hot round. Allie Smith just behind her, 3 down.
Owen with a 5-stroke lead.
Our lead card back on hole 3, 275 feet uphill, plays a little longer than that. You got to cover this out of bounds green, and some people will play low and let it skip over the green. Other people will sky one in with either a forehand hyzer or a backhand hyzer. Just want to make sure it lays down softly, whether you're putting or laying up, because this green is very steeply sloped and oftentimes windy. But nice and calm today, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I feel like sometimes the wind is blocked by that wall, at least off the tee, and the green, like you said, can get windy though.
Owen playing the game of inches.
Keeps things exciting for sure.
Just showing us what golf, like how to do golf.
How to do golf. I would get a pin with Owen's face on it. This is how to do golf. Beautiful shot from Henna. Champion Rock 3 to Owen's Firebird. Whoa, I am tired. To Owen's Destroyer. Gotcha. She's been throwing Firebirds the whole time. Really low from Missy.
Oh, it glues.
Dang, she's going to have to take that short side. Kat Mertsch with a Thunderbird.
Paul
Wow.
and Jennifer giving like heavy guardian angel vibes.
Yeah, yes,
with their
absolutely.
pictures.
I know, I always think Jen is like reminiscing about what Grandpapa did.
Yeah.
Missy just having to lay up for a bogey here. Was that inside or outside? Could you
Just
tell?
barely inside. I can't believe she missed one. What a chump.
Thanks for saying it. We were all thinking
We
it.
were all thinking it.
Here we
That's
go,
like
Henna.
the first circle one miss in 2 rounds.
The entire tournament.
Yeah.
Good to see Henna convert, and that's 2 birdies in a row. Really like that hyzer play from Kat. Sometimes it's hard to make yourself hanging out wide enough and high enough to make that play work, and it ends up skipping down the hill, but she had it just perfect.
Yeah, nice little bounce back as well. Missy going to have to settle for bogey. We move on to another par 3 that looks like no one on our chase card was able to capitalize on.
Four strokes now separating Owen and Kat. Kristen Tatar in third. Hole 4. New configuration, downhill par 3, 350, OB green short that you can find if you're throwing a slower speed disc. There is OB on the left and right. I would say the left comes into play more if you're throwing the backhand, which most women are. Mostly a left to right wind today, so you're going to see largely people hanging one out to the right side, trying to hyzer in at the end and stay in bounds. You see anything? I doubt we'll see putters today, but from putters all the way up to fairway drivers.
The last couple of days, we've seen Henna take a much more low and linear line. Like Erika said, she's hanging this one out more high and wide, and it works great inside the circle.
I believe she switched discs. That's a Color Glow AVR3. Really like that change. No, sorry, AVR3.
Cat whip in the hyzer flip, and it does what you want it to do.
Wow. That's a scary shot because you're throwing it straight OB and just trusting yourself.
I feel like Kat's game is high risk. Like that's just her whole game.
What do you mean you feel? It's a factual statement.
And it works.
Own hanging this out to the right, like I said, but these branches do come into play if you go hang it out too far, and that's pretty fortunate.
And in own range.
Yeah, not a terrible shot, but again, the wind kind of pushing these over.
Missy, with a little more of a spike angle, that works great.
It's an ESP4, so she's just going full distance and spiking it in there. What do you think? I think yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, would anyone bet against her, though, at this moment?
I mean, we just saw her miss one.
I
Look
know.
how nervous she is.
Ugh, dead center.
The opposite of nervous. What a putt.
A quarter of the field got this birdie on hole 4.
Nice.
Like I said, no one on the chase card.
Cat comes up low on her birdie bid there. And Owen gonna bump it back up to 5. It's weird how the difference of like 5 strokes to 4 strokes feels astronomical.
It sure does. And Henna's maybe feeling the pressure here a little bit, not quite capitalizing again on a circle 1 putt. Just a little of that left side hesitancy.
Missy getting her first birdie of the day, back to even par. You think she's doing so well because I found a whale sack of hers from about 6 months ago. That was like a beloved one that I should have returned. She's using it currently.
Aww.
So you're welcome.
The nostalgia is there. Henna gonna have to settle for another par. Only one more opportunity to birdie before we head into the vicious woods, where birdies are very difficult to get.
The vicious woods.
The vicious woods.
I like that. Sounds like a folktale.
Hole 5, it's 520 feet. What was the wind today?
Happening. Let me think about it.
The wind really dictates how difficult this hole is. It can be extremely easy if it's coming from a tailwind or a little bit of a left to right cross. But if you've got a right to left cross or a headwind, it becomes more challenging to find that drop zone.
Taily.
Mm-hmm. Nice. We'll see a pretty high birdie rating, I think, on this one. Your second shot especially is very easy. The more distance you get off the tee, the hole just really dumbs down a lot. But this tee shot really dictates how the rest of the hole is going to go.
And that's a great shot from Owen. Love the sidearm here. Definitely the safest play. As long as you have the distance. The backhand turnover, there's plenty of room, but you see this mistake a lot. Just pulling it, that actually works out fine.
Somehow.
But pulling it towards the trees just so to make sure you stay away from that out of bounds line. She's actually in a great spot.
Yeah, that worked just amazingly.
Henna kind of pulled it yesterday. This looks like what I saw on day 1. This is a huge shot.
So far, just cruising by Missy's disc.
And she's going Star Destroyer.
Wow.
Comes up really close to OB, but look how close to the corner she is.
Whoa.
It's monstrous.
Cat probably throwing something flippy here as well, trying to go big like Henna's shot.
I think that's her Thunderbird that she loves. Flips up so nicely. Great trust.
Yep, another monster. Look, right there with Henna.
Yeah.
Own just opting for a standstill. Probably got about 200 feet to the basket, maybe a little more than that.
Yeah, I think it feels a little farther, slightly uphill. And she stays inside the circle. As we have said in days past, it's easy to kind of blast by it and leave yourself with a tough putt coming back. Missy got really far.
I love her little like mini run up.
I do too. It kind of just sets the timing.
Yep, and it worked.
Yeah, she's parked for a birdie. Cat gonna approach more from the side. Love the sidearm here, going away from the out of bounds.
Perfect. Great touch.
Henna, not really a sidearm thrower unless she's forced to, but one of the best backhand throwers, particularly of turnover shots that we have. And that
Look
is
at that.
gorgeous.
Just breaks right before the tree perfectly.
Yeah, that can be a bit of an intimidating backhand.
Own with the longest putt. No problem.
Right side chains, catches. Owen moves to 3 down. And we're going to have a star par. We didn't have, star frame, birdie frame.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any yesterday, so. Boop, boop, boop.
$25 to edge. We did not have any yesterday. That's surprising.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often.
That speaks a lot to how this course scores. Every hole a swing hole.
Kristen in the vicious woods. Catches early. And it's going to be a feat to get a par from here.
Love this little flex play.
Wow.
What a great recovery. She can see the basket. It's a demanding shot. Oh my gosh.
So good.
So good.
So good.
That's such a technical shot. And what a recovery.
No kidding.
I'm clapping in the booth.
Man. You would probably take the bet against most people after hitting that initial tree that they are not
Yes.
going to save par.
Sometimes you land in the landing zone and you don't save par. That's the vicious woods. Let's watch our lead card play the hole we just watched Kristen play at 535. You want to try to avoid that Mando and, of course, the OB line all the way down the right-hand side. It comes into play on the drive. It comes into play on any second shot that could catch a tree, and it even comes into play as you're approaching the green if you hyzer out a little early. It's a well-guarded green. Don't go too far past because there's a bunch of little sticky trees that makes putting very difficult.
Owen up first with the sidearm play. I think this is the safest line.
Yep.
The backhand can give you the look at the birdie or the sidearm that goes straight down the tunnel versus the flex, but Owen doing that literally as well as you can, taking that particular line.
Missy putting her focus face on because this tee shot is demanding. She early releases, but that's going to work out.
Henna trying to go big here. S-line FD. We haven't seen her quite hit this. This looks pretty dang good if it stays safe. Okay. That is huge.
That's so good.
But you see how risky the backhand is, though. It's so
could
tight.
get a birdie,
She
though.
could get a birdie. Cat Mertsch looking to follow suit here. I think that was a destroyer.
I love the hyzer flip play. With a fast disc, she's wild, but catches that middle tree and kicks left, thankfully away from out of bounds.
What did you say earlier? High risk.
Yeah, her game is the epitome of high risk.
Missy pitching a forehand up to the corner. Possible to save par from there, but difficult.
Kat's going to have to pitch out. I'm not quite sure if she can see the basket from there. She might still have some work to do to get around the corner.
Yeah, I'm wondering which lane she's picking. It didn't seem like maybe she's trying to go flex right side. Gets a horrible kick at OB.
That was a horrible kick. Owns second. Great spot in the landing zone.
Yeah, she actually has a clear line.
Well,
Wow.
if you can throw...
She hits metal?
Are you kidding me right now?
Wow. Can you... Oh, that would have been the sickest eagle.
That was such an unbelievable line.
Yeah, I say it's open, but it's still tight.
Yeah, if your own, it's open. That's like such a hard shot.
That's literally her shot, though. Wow.
Wow.
And parked for a birdie. That feels great on the first wooded hole. Missy pinned up against these trees. Just enough room to run up. That's unbelievable also.
That is great.
So good. These ladies coming alive in the woods.
I know. Making these holes look easy.
Cat.
Is she still blind to the basket?
I think she could...
Maybe
I
barely
think she could see it. That's a little early out of her hand, though she will have... She's in circle 2. I'm not sure if she'll have a real putt. This is Henna's drive.
I forgot that we hadn't gotten there yet. And look at this. These approach shots are blowing my mind. This is the hole. This is played as the hardest hole every day. It's 1.3 strokes over par today. So again, the hardest hole by a long shot. And 3 out of 4 of our lead card ladies are just putting. My mind's blown right now.
Missy trying to save par after hitting pretty early off the tee and hits band.
Dang.
Henna for birdie.
Heartbreak.
Yeah. Dang. And we saw this from Evelina as well for years. Seems like Evelina has learned to shake it off. Maybe she'll teach her friend how to do the same.
Yeah,
I'm sure Henna will figure it out.
It's such a confidence thing. It lives so deeply in your subconscious. It's really difficult to fight once you start dealing with the yips. And you just the thing is, you never know when they're going to come back. And sometimes it's on lead card of an event that you could potentially win. And that we hate to see it, but we can all relate.
Kat with the triple there, pretty brutal. Gonna drop her back a lot. Own with that birdie. Man, how many ahead is she? 10?
She was the
9?
she's the only birdie on this hole.
Get it, girl. Moves to 4 down.
How do you lead the tournament and also be the only birdie on hole 6? She was one of only 2 yesterday as well. Like, she's inhuman right now.
How to disc golf. Wait, what was it? How to golf?
How to golf.
Kristen also 4 down through 7. But
how to do golf.
How to do golf. 9 strokes back of Own. 9. Hole 7 is a par 3, 305 feet. This one center tree is just the worst. You got to go left or right of it. You see backhands on either side. You kind of see forehands on either side. Just keep it straight for as long as possible. There is OB on the left, but I've never even seen it. The only thing you're really thinking about is the OB right. What do you think is the most common play here?
I think a backhand flex to the left of the tree is pretty common.
I think right is almost as common, though.
Yeah,
definitely more
maybe
backhands.
A flip up. But the only thing is that brings those right side trees into play late. And they're right by the OB line.
This is the play Madison just mentioned. And okay, Own.
Alrighty. It's just
9
like that.
isn't enough for you?
Let's
make it 10.
That's how you do golf.
That's how you do golf.
Missy, I don't know if she tried for the left side yesterday. Yep, she did. And she's doing it again today. Doesn't quite turn it, but gets some really favorable ground coverage along that left side tree line.
She should be able to scramble from there. Henna with a road runner.
Ooh.
Oh, close.
And it's brutal in there.
Yeah, check out the practice round if you haven't. We see some shots from in there. Cat just gets that to flip in time. Wow.
Buzzing the basket.
I'm like scared for her to lose that Thunderbird. She just throws it so well.
It's an extension of her. Missy, I thought she was a little more out in the open. She's lining up a roller here. And on the mulch, it can be tough to get it to stay in the angle you want. She still covers some ground, and she'll have a long putt to save par.
You don't see a ton of rollers from Missy. That was well done. Oof. Henna.
Brambleton. Oh, sorry, Brambleton.
Yes, thank you. But it's Texas, so you could give it a little...
Brambleton. Missy had a little more work to do than I thought. Outside circle 2. With a straddle putt, it's hard to get the disc to go that far.
And this one kind of hurts to take the bogey. The other 2 wooded holes, you're not as mad. This one, you're like, come on.
But there was only 4 birdies, so it's just that
It's not
glorious
an easy birdie.
tweener. Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it's short, though. It's just hard, which is fine.
It's just hard.
It's just hard.
It's
not a tweener. It's just hard.
disc golf. It's just hard.
Yeah. That would be my pin. It's my face.
With a power frown.
Power frown.
And another birdie.
4 in a row. Yesterday she got 5 in a row, then 6 in a row at 2 separate times during the round, which is just wild.
Like I said, only 4 birdies today, and getting the only birdie on the last hole, one of only 4 on this one. So she's birdieing the ones that no one else is.
Kat with another great bounce back. Fantastic putt.
She's fighting. Love the mental fortitude.
Yeah, she looks relaxed out there.
Missy just going to hang right around even par. She goes to 1 over. Can't quite string them together.
Henna and Missy with the bogeys there.
Annika Steen, Emma Arp, 2 of the other birdies on the day today.
Own 5 down, 9 strokes ahead.
And the final wooded hole, another new hole, hole 8, 570 feet. I think forehand is the best play, working it up that left side. But look at that out of bounds line. You don't want to throw it too straight. There's OB on the right side as well. But there's a little more room to work. If you're wanting to get aggressive on the tee shot, you might be able to attack this tunnel on your second shot for birdie, but we have not seen that play very often. A lot of FPO players just laying up to the tunnel and trying to chip something through on their third. Going gameplay route for a par.
Did you sigh during the flyover because that's how you feel halfway through the hole?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. And there's that room that I was talking about. A lot more space on the right side. It just pinches the hole.
Own looks safe, but it's going to be tough over there.
High risk. Cat Mertsch. Good.
Yeah. Also safe. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
And I like that she just throws out all the tree branches and she's like, let's see what happens. Missy lining up the backhand as well. Low shot. That's kind of the play.
Yeah.
But that was a little lower than she probably intended.
Kind of the second one of those that we've seen today, but probably the best mistake to make. It's not going to ricochet and do anything crazy. Henna going big, but with a slower speed disc. That is gorgeous.
Don't forget, we got Texas Jomez shirts, JomezPro.com. The long sleeves are sweet. Check them out.
Missy up first after that low tee shot. Just got to get to the tunnel here. Oh, what a mean little stump.
She's
That was
got,
looking great.
she's still got a little turnover sidearm, but regardless of where you land, this third shot is so technical.
I know. It's just, you want to see her rewarded. She threw the right shot.
Own forced to pitch out. And she will still have every bit of 180 feet to the basket, but a very technical
Tunnel.
180. Kat's tee shot also going to have to just chip out. Par is still on the table for both Own and Kat.
Own going destroyer flex through the tunnel.
Obviously.
That could even be closer to 200.
Oh my God.
Is it perfect?
Oh my God. It's so crazy to watch.
Yeah. Chaos for sure. Lovable chaos.
It is. It's just like no one else does that.
Wow.
Speaking of no one else doing it, wow, Henna.
Yeah, but
Just cruising by the chains.
Henna's that controlled turnover shot that she's just the best at. Kat from a little closer. Looks like a putter in hand, perhaps. Wow. Look at that little flip up.
And this is why they are on lead card. They're making this tunnel look easy. It is absolutely not. Everyone just cruising right down the middle. Let's see if Missy can do it as well.
A little too much turn, but Missy is going to get away with it and have a slightly obstructed putt. It looks like from 20, maybe 25 feet.
This hole averaged at a full stroke over par.
Again.
There were only 2 birdies.
What a par save. What a friggin' machine.
That third shot was incredible.
Destroy all day, baby. Missy for a par save. Breaks the little pedestal.
Take it easy, Missy.
And a great par save from Kat, too. The fact that Own and Kat just save those with tiny little pitch outs is
Also,
pretty
like,
awesome.
seeing Kat just beaming after taking a triple bogey is the best.
Yeah, it kind of makes you believe in the world.
The only 2 birdies on the day were from Eliezra Midling and Evelina Salonen. Shout out because that's tough to do.
Dang.
67% of the field taking a bogey or worse.
What a good citizen.
Chase card check-in, Kristen Tatar on the first open hole back out from the Vicious Woods.
As we call it.
Hole 9, old hole 18 from last year. A very brutal hole, especially if there's any windy conditions.
Yeah, we call it all of those things all together every time.
Every time. The lady of many names.
Wow. That's a great shot. This was kind of a strong right to left crosswind that kind of shifted into a headwind on that second shot. It was hard to put it close.
This has been consistently the 3rd hardest hole in the top 3. Kristen just gonna birdie it.
Casually. And our lead card approaches the hole we just saw Kristen play. Still 9 strokes in the lead.
There's nothing that inspires me more than Own making that shot and seeing that reaction. It's like, now I want to go out there and send it.
Right?
I want to send the wild shots.
Do
I want to
it.
throw a destroyer where everyone else is throwing a putter.
Let's get wild.
Let's get crazy. Hole 9, 5, 10.
Yeah, it's a par 4. You want to throw over that OB green a little bit and then end up on the left side in between the left side OB and the green. Just like we saw where Kristen landed, that was pretty ideal. Even a little farther is better, obviously. Gets very pinched coming up towards the pin, and that OB cart path really comes into play. Again, the wind was kind of blowing from right to left when I came through, so a sidearm was a really good play. Oh, I'm going sidearm where everyone else is going backhand. Classic.
And just landing a couple feet away from the green.
Classic.
Classic. With a wildly skippy disc. Classic. Oh, no, Cat. Too much hyzer. Doesn't get it to flip.
It's a slow speed disc, though.
Okay. What a...
Cayman?
A Cayman, okay. So that's an overstable, faster putter.
Yeah, I like that. Kind of minimizes the mistake. She'll have a tougher second shot, though. Henna with a Champion Rock X3. Sit. Dang, and you see so many of those just barely trickle out of bounds. The right to left wind really pushing those backhand hyzers towards the OB line. That looks great.
Yeah, big distance
Sit.
Missy.
Oh, I thought it was perfect. Dang it.
Love the aggressive play.
Yeah, usually if you kind of throw straight over the green, you get the favorable skips.
I like that error there, though, because now she has a pretty simple up and down. Par is... Yeah, par is pretty easy. This is hard, even...
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the difference 50 feet can make on this shot. Like, even where Henna is, so much easier than what Kat just had to do. I really like this whole redesign.
Me too.
Just kind of, I can't remember how much different the distance is. I mean, the ending is the same, but just where the tee pad is, I feel like the strategy and the risk reward is really interesting.
Henna struggling right now to string them together. That's back-to-back out of bounds and leaving her with about 20, maybe 30-foot putt as well.
Oh, wild child. Bounces off the sidewalk, nearly into the bullseye. Just knowing her discs so well and exactly when they're going to break and how much flex to put on them.
She's like, I know I'm winning by a zillion, so I'm going to make it thrilling still.
Ooh, that looks good for Missy.
That's great.
Yeah.
The type of golf Missy's playing right now would have won her just 17 world titles like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like she's doing unbelievably.
That probably doesn't keep her up at night, though. Good layup from Kat Mertsch. Henna for a bogey save. Man, you can't even say anything. You just feel the ache in your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Kat's putt looking really solid.
I love her putters too.
Vibrant.
So vibrant. Glowing.
Oh, just the cleanest front nine. Might as well get the hot round to win the tournament, even though she could probably just par out.
She could probably just par
She
out
could
and
bogey
be enough.
out. No, she couldn't. But
Almost.
good par save for Missy.
Heck yeah.
Tough finish to the front nine from Henna.
Before we go, let's watch the chase card on hole 10. Look at this wind.
Yeah, left to right.
This was more similar to what we had in practice.
Looks like a harp from Kristen.
And she sticks the island.
Yeah.
The spotter lets her know.
All the volunteers were great out here this weekend.
They were one of the nicest tournament staffs that we've had. I mean, it was just a joy to talk to everyone on the way to your holes and throughout the round.
Own and Kristen, both 6 down, own through 9 holes, leading the way by 9 strokes still, 9 to go.
Look at her, 22, and the next best score is at 13. She keeps birdieing the holes that no one else is getting as well. So you stay doing that, and there's really no way to catch her. Go ahead. Kat Mertsch having a kind of a rough round, but still holding strong, mentally fighting back. We still got 9 more holes for her as well.
Evelina under par and moving up course played hard today. As you can see, a lot less ladies under par. That wind is going to come into play quite a bit more on the back 9 as well.
Along with a rain delay that always ices everybody out.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you about it when we get there. We got 9 more holes come hang. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
We are your 2 hockey honk.